having tea.
Ooh, tea sounds good. I should have thought of that and gotten some tea ready for me
Good.
before we started.
Thought
But
of that and gotten some
in
tea
any
ready
case,
for
we're
me.
live now, so let me just turn the volume off on that. Okay, so welcome, ladies and gentle people, to the super fun call every week with Heather Normandale. My name is Joey. I go by Cello Joe, and we are talking about music business, and we're talking about online music leveling up. Heather, how are you doing?
I've got a bit of a headache. I'm doing okay though. Trying to hydrate.
You got a cup of tea, though.
I got a cup of tea, so I'm working on it.
All right, all right. Well, sorry to hear that you have a headache. Make sure you practice your meditation and your deep breathing exercises.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that. I've been doing meditation off of this app called Balance. And I also
Oh,
use the Waking Up app from Sam Harris. Sometimes I do 2 different meditation apps in one day because that's how stressed out I am.
dang.
Yeah.
That's how stressed out I am.
Well,
Yeah, I like to meditate twice a day as well.
I'm partially the reason why I'm doing it is because Sam Harris lets anybody get free access to his app by you just send an email to him, and then you can have access to this paid app. It's a really good meditation app. And the other one, I got a free subscription for a year because a friend of mine like works for the company and said, "Hey, anybody that wants a free subscription, just let me know." And so I got both of those.
Cool.
And it's been really helping me with my stress level, you know.
That's good.
So let's actually talk about what's going on with your music and your online presence and all of that stuff.
Okay.
Last
Um,
last time we talked, we got to
mhm.
the stage where we said you're gonna launch your Bandcamp subscription portion of your Bandcamp site. And then you did it. You got the
Yeah,
video done. You pushed publish. You might not have been super happy about every aspect of the video,
right.
but talk to us about what it was like when you set a deadline for starting something, you got the work done, and then you push publish. What was that like?
I was happy with myself because I think it was just really helpful to have a plan. And in even it took me a little later than Saturday, because a few things, or it wasn't Saturday by noon, but it was like a little later in the day. It felt good to realize, well, just in general, there's a lot of work that goes into it. I wasn't able to work on it Thursday or Friday, but I was working on it all Saturday and realized a lot of time goes into this.
Yeah.
Or I guess I could have spent less time on it, but I guess that's the thing, is noticing where I spend unnecessary extra time on things, and maybe just noting that in the future I should try to minimize that.
I I hear you because you can for
Go
me
down rabbit holes.
yeah, for me
I'm like, oh, okay, I have to add my bio. Oh man, I need to rewrite that bio, and then you're like, what photo? And then you're like, oh gosh, I should get some new photography done, but this will do for now. And like you just kind of like you get distracted by all these like to-dos when you're trying to do one thing. And then you're like, oh, now I have to send out an email to everybody, but I can't do that until I have my next show planned. And
uh-huh.
and then I'm like, oh, but we're waiting for the artwork for the new CD and this person. So it's like it can be like a spiral of dominoes where everything's kind of depending on each other, but you're like, what thing do I do first?
I feel the exact same thing when I, like, for instance, today I'm promoting this Cello Madness Congress show, right? And 2 or 3 days ago, I was like, okay, I got to send out the email newsletter. And then I was like, wait, I have to make the event page first. Otherwise, I won't have a link for people to click to get tickets.
Right.
So then
Right.
I start spending time. Then I'm like, okay, before I get the email newsletter, I have to do the event page. Okay, I'll do the event page. It'll take 15 minutes. Like 2 hours later, I'm like, how is this taking 2 hours to put up an event page?
Right.
It's because I need to get the artist photo and I need to get their bio and I need to get their info to put in the event page. So I see what you're saying. Like there's always this really long extrapolated list of things that has to
Yeah.
happen before you can do the thing that you want to do.
It's so funny.
And the advice I was gonna say is like, um, how you organize all of your resources is really important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
having a folder. Well, I have a folder that's called Hello Joe Press Photos, and I put it in the sidebar on my computer. Like, um, here, desktop two. I'm share this desktop.
Oh yeah.
So when I go on my computer, wait, here's my Finder. When I go here in the sidebar over here, you can drag whatever folders you want in the.
Oh yeah.
So if you have a folder somewhere on your hard drive, like you go in your hard drive, right? Then
Uh-huh.
you go into wherever your folder is that you're trying to get to. You take that folder, you just drop it right here like that. Boom. And you have, and uh, I'll just remove that because I don't want that one there. But anyway, I keep this right here because I'm constantly having to find a photo of me to send to somebody for something
Mm-hmm.
or upload it somewhere. So I
Yeah.
always have that right there. And having a folder that's in your sidebar or just somewhere like super that's really organized so that you can get to it really fast, that has your bio and it has like things that you use all the time is a great
Yeah.
way to optimize that whole process. It can cut down the time that it takes to find things.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I need to do that.
I mean, just having like the Heather Normandale Swiss Army kit of digital files in a folder that's like ready to go. That's got anytime you use anything more than once, you should put a copy of it in that folder so that you're just always ready to be like, here's my press photo, and just always go with whatever the current one is, right?
Yeah.
That way you're not wasting time like, oh, I need to do a new photo shoot before I can send any pictures. Just grab the latest thing that you have or have like 10 that you rotate through. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, I totally hear you on the extrapolated like inception like process of getting anything done. But as you discovered when you set a timeline that's achievable, like I could theoretically put out a new track by next week, you
Mm-hmm.
know? When you set that kind of a deadline and a timeline with yourself and you have somebody else that's saying like, hey, so are you going to meet your deadline? Are you going to stick with the plan? Are you going to like, checking in and keeping in like wondering like, hey, how's it going? Are we on track to meet this goal that we have set?
Mm-hmm.
Then you see that you can get stuff done. And you know what happens? This is what I realized is um like for instance, last night I was working on a tune. I was in Ableton and I was like recording tracks and there was a ton of mistakes. I was trying to just do something really fast. Ton of mistakes. I was like, I'll just go back in and fix them later. So I was getting stuff out on the piano, I was getting stuff out on the cello, and I was getting stuff out vocally. and I just recorded all the stuff with tons of mistakes in there, but like multiple takes.
Uh-huh.
I went back and I started trying to comp things out. So like when there was a mistake, I would just like grab a different take and and try to put the different take to sub it out. And I was trying to work as fast as I could. And
Hmm.
I think what I'm trying to say here is that there's a balance between perfectionism and getting shit done.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like at a
for
certain
sure.
point, you have to accept that there's going to be flaws and that that like you do the best you can within the given allotted amount of time. But if there isn't an allotted amount of time, then the best you can do stretches out for infinity. And then the project never actually hits completion because there's no finite amount of time. You know, it's like somebody painting a painting and they just keep on adding like the smallest little details and it goes on for years and years and years. And yeah, by the time they're if they're ever done with their painting, it's an amazing painting, but they never put it in a gallery because they never feel like it's done. So nobody ever sees it. So like there's no feedback loop there, you know, of like creator, receiver,
Yeah.
comment, you know. So I think it's really important to have goals and have deadlines or have like plan of when things are going to get done. So I know you were dealing with some technical issues with regard to making a demo reel. Like the computer just wasn't working for you. You couldn't find certain files or what have you. But
Yeah.
that
I'm
was
so
the goal
freaking.
by this Saturday was to have a demo reel of some sort to replace the initial launching video.
Hmm.
But we pushed that back because you reevaluated and said this is not a realistic goal.
Yeah, I think it would be better to have that goal by next week. That way I can be really happy with the outcome of it instead of pushing, rushing through the second one too, you
Hmm.
know, because the second one should be better.
Well, I watched the first one and the first one was good.
You liked it?
The first one was good. I did notice some difference in audio quality. It seemed like there was a lot of hiss when you were talking.
Oh,
And then when you were playing your music, it was like you were in a different location. Maybe you were using a different device to film or something.
yeah. I actually, one of the things that was so frustrating is that I was trying to edit, um, I was trying to edit the different sections of speaking. I was trying to like cut things down and speed it up just a tiny bit just to make it more, just to make it quicker. And there was some setting that I couldn't change. It was like there were some audio settings that you can put on things, and there was something that just like got in the file and then I couldn't get it off. And so it made the different vocal tracks different and I like pulled it in again and it just was one of those things that took a long time because I had to like redo the work that I already did. And then it still wasn't totally right. It was kind of like, I don't understand what's going on, but I'm going to give it this the good enough seal of approval just to get something out.
What are you editing your videos on?
What was I using? That was, I think, Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is something that I've been sort of trying to figure out and sort of wrestling with in my own life is when do you hit the point where you say, okay, this is something that I'm learning how to do. there's other people that already know how to do this.
Right.
Maybe I should just contract with other people that know how to do what I'm trying to do, and
Yeah.
weigh the benefits of paying somebody else to do what I'm doing.
Right.
So this is like some advice that I'm trying to give myself. Like I don't really know. I haven't really used like online um, hiring services very much.
Like, are you talking about video editing?
Yeah, like Fiverr, like you can find
Oh,
people
yeah.
on Fiverr or Upwork or whatever, all these different virtual assistant type places where there's people that can do things for a pretty reasonable price. And I don't know, like one of the things I had somebody do was I sent pictures of a bunch of pages of people's email addresses that they had written. And I said, can you put this information in a spreadsheet? Just put their email, their name, and the city that they wrote in a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And I think it costs like $5 or $10 or something. And I only did that a couple times, and then I was like, you know what? I can just type this stuff myself. But the the thing is that this is like advice for myself. Like I could hire somebody to do all the event page creation work of this concert series that I'm organizing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could hire someone to edit a video and make a great intro video for Bandcamp or Patreon or whatever. Um, I guess the hard thing about it is spending. It's like an investment, and you don't know what the return is going to be, right?
Yeah.
You're like spending money on a video that's trying to get other people to give you money. And if you spend $100 on the video and then you make back like $80 on people spending money because they saw the video, then you actually lost $20. So it's not a very good business proposition.
I guess, yeah. So I guess that's the line of thinking that holds a lot of people back from investing in advertising in general. Any small business, I think that right there is kind of the trap of my investment in this content is only worth the direct incoming money that is going to result from it. It's good to fine tune, I think, what you decide to do with that thinking, but also I think um I mean, like, just doing social media in general is a lot of time. And
Hmm.
so if you were to monetize, how much time am I spending on this and what is it resulting in? But I think having a higher quality of content that's put out represents you in a big way better. So I think it's worth more than what the people pay for, in your subscription.
Yeah.
Um, but I get stuck on those things too, where I'm like, is that gonna make me money? Is this a waste of time?
Yeah,
It's hard to decide what's the best choice.
there's something to be said for, you spend money to make a video
Yeah.
that's like, yeah, it could be used for your Bandcamp subscription, but what if you were spending money on a video that could be sent to any promoter or any person that's looking to hire you for a gig, anybody, or you make it dual purpose so that it's also for your Patreon page that you have you started a Patreon page?
No.
No. So what if this video was multi-purpose? And what I realized is that when when you have something that's good enough, you're not as excited about telling everybody to go take a look at it, you know?
Right.
So having that demo reel ready to go and making it super multi-purpose so that it can be used in lots of different contexts is something to just consider farming out. You know, if you have sort of, I don't know how this works because I haven't really done it myself, but I'm thinking out loud. I'm like, maybe I should do the same thing. You just grab a whole bunch of footage of you performing live, which you have, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of go through it a little bit, but you don't like actually chop the sections you want. You just choose the ones that you want somebody else to review. And I think the thing is like maybe look at it from this perspective. Like let's say you've never played an instrument in your life. This is a you're putting yourself in this person's shoes. You've never played an instrument in your life. You really want to get some original music, like for some poetry that you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to pick up a guitar and practice every day for an hour playing guitar, learning all the chords, um, then start practicing with GarageBand for an hour a day, learning how to record yourself, and then, finally get your song done? Or are you just going to call somebody that already knows how to play guitar and say, "Hey, can you record some music and like put these words to the music and I'll pay you $200?"
Mm-hmm.
You know? Now picture there's somebody that's been making videos and editing them for like 20 years. And you just take a whole bunch of videos and like write a little concept like I want it to be like this, blah 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 blah. And you send it to this person. Within one day and like 3 or 4 hours, they've got like the most amazing cool video that's using all kinds of effects and zooming in and speeding stuff up and slowing it down and spinning it around and doing all kinds of tricks that would take you years
Yeah.
to figure out because it takes a long time. So like if we haven't been getting to the level of video editor master for 10 plus years like somebody else, I don't think it's reasonable to expect, just like that person, if they've never picked up an instrument, shouldn't expect that within a couple years they're going to just be like recording hit songs or like making really good songs. It's the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, video is an art form unto itself, and there's people that specialize and master that. And I think just being able to find those people and really considering the positive and negative of spending the money to work with somebody that is a master of their craft. It's just like hiring a session player, right? It's like if I want saxophone on a track and I don't want to use a sample off of like some sample pack library or whatever, then I'm gonna hit up my friends that play uh, saxophone to record their part to what I'm trying to get. You know, and hire them. I'm not gonna go get a saxophone and learn how to play saxophone for years before so I can record it myself. I think you and I both. This is long and short. I think you and I both need to recognize that we are not the best video editors. We're much better at playing our instruments, writing songs, singing.
Yeah.
And so logically, it makes sense that we would involve a larger team if we're trying to make videos. We should be collaborating with people that's their thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great. I actually might be starting to work with Bunker through Rock the Bike, and so I should ask him about his availability for something like this for editing. I
Yeah.
forget if he is just preferring to do videography or if he also is okay with doing editing. Some people only want to do one or the other, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because videography is more hands-on. It's more technical,
Yeah.
and it's less staring at a screen. But I think it's kind of interesting to think about it in terms of like a utility or like a monthly expense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have a budget where you're like, okay, I'm gonna spend, $300 on groceries this month. I'm gonna spend $200 on a video editor this month. You know, everybody's got a certain amount of resources. Otherwise, how are you like affording your rent and like affording your food? So,
Right.
so is video important enough that we should take a certain amount of our spending and put it towards a professional video editor? And there's people that are really good that are actually really cheap too. That's something that I learned from watching a random YouTube video, which was a video editor put up a video where he was like, I hired a range of video editors from Upwork and Fiverr and whatever else, whatever other sites there are for like hiring people for freelancer jobs. And he said that he found people that would edit his. He made a pizza commercial basically, and he just sent the same exact footage that he used to make a pizza commercial
Oh, wow.
to all these video editors, and one of them he spent like $20. One of them, there was a range from like $20, $50, $100, $250, and $500. And then he showed all the videos that these people edited for a 30-second commercial
From the same.
from the same exact source footage.
Wow, that's really interesting.
And then he gave them like 5 different tracks to cut to, 5 different royalty-free songs that
They
the,
could choose from, or
they could choose from. Yeah. So, people would listen to the song, the 3 or 4 different songs that they could choose from, and then they choose one, and then they cut all the footage to that song. And like the $50 guy, his video was just as good as the $500 guy.
wow.
Yeah, and like even like the $20 guy produced something that was epic. Like it looked really cool. There was cool effects. Like things were like the transitions were creative, and it ended up being like you could spend a ton of money on a video editor or you could spend a very small amount and you could get something very similar out. Depends on how good your source footage is though, right?
Right.
Like,
And what the person um and the person that like their style. Like it'd be cool to see those examples, and then if they have other examples, just to be like, um, what's their trick, because sometimes you use the same person a couple of times and then you can be like, oh, I see, they do that thing each time, you know
right.
like when I'm editing with iMovie, I use the same tricks, and so after I've done it a bunch of times, I'm like, okay, I'm running out of tricks from this editing program, but it's really fast, so it has that benefit, so
Yes. So here's something that I like to try to do. You know how I was saying, most important thing is to just go for it and make it happen,
uh-huh.
right? Well, can you see my screen?
What is happening?
I'm screen sharing. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
I'm on Upwork.com. I'm looking for freelancers.
Oh,
I'm searching for video editing. Videographer, video editor. 65 an hour. from Florida, 80 an hour, 40 an hour, 70 an hour, 45 an hour. Look at all these people that are able to do stuff for $40 an hour, and you could see how much money they've worked or how much money they've made. Video creator, 10,000 plus earned. Here's somebody that's made $20,000 making videos. So I've let my work run deep into my passion for videos.
Wow.
Well, look at this. $300 testimonial.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That's just
Like they make a testimonial video for you.
yeah, I guess.
I see.
I don't really know. Okay, so you just obviously this is a process to be able to hire a video editor. Here's the demo reel, right? So you can just check out like what people have already done. You can probably even filter by like the price. Yeah, hourly rate. Look at this. I've never done this. How about a $10 to $30 an hour um, video editor? Skilled video editor for $12 an hour.
Dang.
Professional Premiere Pro video editor for 4 years. I mean,
It's probably a good way for people to get their stats up too, because they can if they offer for lower, then maybe because it seems like it benefits their page when they've made a lot of money. You know what I mean? If they're just starting and they have made $0, it's probably
right. You have to like start your prices out real low to be able to demonstrate you're getting a lot of clients and you're doing work. But this is crazy because I've never done this. I've thought about this and I've been like, I should hire a video editor. But I've never actually gone and looked at somebody's anybody's portfolio on Upwork, and I'm feeling like maybe I should be on Upwork. Like she's worked 700 hours on Upwork and made over $10,000 at this hourly rate. Oh, it's her band's video. Yeah, probably not this person. But anyway, the thing that I'm realizing is that it takes time to find somebody to work with. It's kind of cool to just like look at people's demo reels and see what's cracking, you know?
Yeah.
Neta's Natural Body Butter.
Hi, this is Marta. This is
What? I guess I can't
our
watch.
shea
Oh,
butter.
there we go.
The shea butter that you see is the yellow shea butter. Usually we use it on the hair. It helps you seal your moisture. It also deep condition your hair.
Okay. Getting it a little bit lost in a rabbit hole here.
Yeah.
The point is, look at all these people. This is just the 10 to 30 freelancers that have video editor in their title. You know? And then you turn off US only This is my first time that I've ever tried exploring this site. I'd like to remind you, I don't.
Bangladesh,
I
Colombia, Russia. Wow.
Yeah. So you can find people
Ukraine.
all over the world, and they do this kind of work. Are you looking for a creative video editor for your social media presence? Yes. That's exactly what we're looking for. Creative videos for social media presence.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know. I mean, this is an idea. Look,
Cool.
media ads, $50. Documentary, $100.
Dang.
I mean, the worst thing, this is the thing. The worst thing that could happen is you could get quotes, or you could like start chatting with a bunch of different people on Upwork, like for instance just five random people that all charge $20 or less for video editing, right? One of them or two of them, you say, okay, I want to hire you, I want a social media video, this is the project, this is the goal. Give yourself only like 30 minutes or an hour to assemble the materials, write the brief, and send it off to two people. Commit to spending $100, 5 hours of a $20 an hour video editor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, if you can, two different people, so you can get two different senses of what their output's going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's $200 out the door. And what you get back is two videos. One of them you put on your Bandcamp, one of them you use to start your Patreon or whatever. You have to think about what you're willing to spend and what you want to achieve, right? But you hire one person off Upwork to make a video and see what happens. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to be out $100, which you might have spent $100, I don't know,
I
on.
would definitely spend more than $100 of my own time trying to edit it.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, think about it like in terms of how much money you would make in that same amount of time if you were trying to edit it. And also think about in terms of like, well, $100. I mean, before we had no going out and we were all sheltering in place, $100 would go like, you go out to dinner with a couple friends like two times and you've already spent way over $100.
Yeah.
Rather have a video that's going to represent you in a really professional way for the next 3 to 6 months or even longer? Or would you rather have spent that money hanging out with some friends at a restaurant, buying drinks and getting food out? That's the way I think about it. For instance, like you said, like if you spent 5 hours editing a video, how much money would you have made if you had spent 5 hours like doing private music lessons with somebody, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that for this week, our assignment for each other is to write up a brief for a video project, assemble the resources, and hire somebody on Upwork to make a video. And the video is um, whatever you decide it is. Is it a multi-purpose demo reel? Is it a is it specifically for the Bandcamp subscription? Is it gonna be for the Bandcamp and your Patreon because you're gonna launch both of those things at the same time? Is it a biography video? Whatever it is, you have all of the source material already, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, then you also have time within the week to sit down and put a camera on your face and make some source material for whatever this video project is. Am I right?
Yes.
So, and I have the time too. Like, I can assemble a bunch of video, put it in a folder, in a zip file or whatever, and like send it to a video editor. It's not that hard of a task. And then committing to spend whatever it is, $100 on 5 hours of somebody's video editing stuff is, I think, not an unreasonable gamble. You know what I mean? Like, the worst thing that could happen is you get back a crappy video that you do nothing with, and you spent some time creating a video brief,
Uh-huh.
and you're out $100. But
You can always use parts of the video that you like and re-edit it.
yeah, you could remix it. And the best thing that could come out of this is you spend $100, you spent some time making a video brief, and then without you lifting a finger after that, you get back an amazing video that you're super happy with, and then you're super stoked about sharing that video with people
Yeah.
and saying, "Look, I have a subscription site. It's easy for you to support me now if you want to." And all you have to do is click a button and put in your payment info, and you'll be helping me live my best life as an artist. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's a really good goal for us to both achieve by the next time we meet, which is going to be on Wednesdays, since we're changing from Thursdays to Wednesdays because of scheduling all these cello congress shows. But 6 days to write one page or less. Like, I can't imagine that you would be writing more than a page, single spaced, of direction for somebody that's making a video.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're writing more than one page, then you're probably not clear on what it is that you want,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because, like, a video brief should be able to be summarized in like 10 sentences or whatever. You can write a paragraph that's basically, I want a video that is for this purpose, my Bandcamp subscription, or I want a multi-purpose video that is a demo reel of me performing in lots of different places and me explaining who I am as an artist. You know, that's one sentence.
Okay, that seems clear.
Yeah. I might say something like, be creative, bust out all of your favorite video effects or transitions or however you want to edit this video. Or something like, I'm looking for a clean, corporate friendly edit, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, be creative and do something that's like super artsy that's not going to be useful to me for the purpose that I'm looking for, which is like to show this to potential corporate clients or to show to my friends and my fan base or what have you. I think saying who your audience is probably a good idea. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if there's like how to write a brief for a video editor.
Wow.
Sample creative brief for video production. Target audience.
Wow, yeah. Good thinking.
This is one of those times when you ever have those moments?
You're like, I'm just on fire right now. Good thing it's on camera.
This is one of those times where I'm just like, I can't believe that I have never thought to look this up before and Google this.
This is very productive.
This is so crazy that I've never even thought, how do I write a video brief? How do I contract somebody to make a video for me? And then here it is.
That's perfect.
Stuff. It's the
Inbound video marketing.
the objectives, the audience, the key messages, how the video is going to be distributed, the tone of voice, mandatory elements, the timeline, the budget, and the approval process. Boom, that's it. So
Wow.
Upwork is one, and there's also Fiverr.com with 2 R's.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do this one, Fiverr.com. Used to be stuff for $5. Now it's all, people just charge whatever they want. Video editor. And then top sites for freelance video editors. Clearly, there's a lot of different places where people are finding video editors. Upwork's number one. I never heard of this one. People
per hour.
Fiverr, heard of that. Video Pixie, Mandy. Oh, look at this. Be careful when hiring a freelancer.
Will you send me the 2 links that you
Yeah. Sure, I can do that.
Well, Upwork I know, but the how to write a brief seemed really helpful. And then that one that you were just showing me, the different options for the hiring video editors.
I mean, you can do the same thing I just did.
Just Google it.
Just Google it. Just say how to write a creative brief for a video and top sites for video editors. Seems like Upwork is the one.
Yeah.
If it's number one on this list, it's the most popular job site to find freelance video editors. That's what it says right here. Part of it is just, I think the weird thing is like, just like you were saying about how you were trying to make this Bandcamp subscription video, and then you got to the page and you're like, oh crap, now I have to update my bio.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with this. It's like, okay, I need a video. Hire somebody. Oh crap, now I have to like learn about all these different video editors, watch their video for all these different projects they've done, and don't get bogged down on it. Like there's thousands of people on here that can do the work. Just look at their profile picture and just be like, you know what, this guy looks like an honest looking person from Ukraine. Let me just go with him. Like after you check out his profile, like don't check out 100 profiles, check out 10, right? And then just be like, okay, I can't take more time to figure out who to work with. I have to just look at the prices, find somebody that's within my budget, and just go for it and just try it, right? I mean, that's what I'm planning to do is just find somebody that when I click on their profile, I want to see down here that it's not over $100.
Yeah. Illustration. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Perfect.
that's something that we can both work on this week is trying to get is like an experiment in outsourcing.
Yeah. Sounds great. I'm excited.
Cool. Well, I should probably get ready for this concert that I'm doing at 5 with
Have a great concert. That's awesome.
yeah, it's with Mia Pixley and Louis Patzner, 3
Nice.
cellists. And next week we're going to meet at 3:30 on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. Okay.
Cool. Awesome, Heather. Well, I'm super proud of you for getting your Bandcamp project done and launching, even though you weren't 100% happy with your video. And I look forward to catching up in a week.
Cool. Have a great show. I'll try to catch you